Hi, I'm Alan Ram. Let's talk BDCs, and I'm hoping I might surprise you with what I'm about to say. I remember reading the book Raving Fans years ago. In that book, Dr. Ken Blanchard says that people like myself need to create a vision of perfection for their clients centered on the customer. In other words, it's not about what I want, but about what you want. There are many different types of BDC models, and what might work for one dealership may not be ideal for the next. What I do want to discuss right now are some critical points to consider, remembering that the acronym BDC doesn't only mean one thing. Here's a critical mistake I see some dealers making. When they have a BDC of non-salespeople taking their sales calls, they tend to treat the sales staff and BDC as entirely separate entities and don't always ensure that everyone's on the same page. What then happens is customers arrive at the dealership with whatever they were told by a BDC representative rattling around in their head. Now, the salesperson who doesn't know exactly what the BDC representatives are telling people, and more importantly, the why behind it, meets that client. The BDC may have had the absolute latest and greatest, most current and up-to-date training, but this is where things go off the rails on the showroom floor. It's when the salesperson says something like, "What did she tell you?" "Oh, that's just a girl in the BDC. She doesn't know what she's talking about." And your dealership's credibility is shot and you're off on exactly the wrong foot trying to dig your way out of a hole. Think about a football team. When they practice, everyone obviously has the same goal in mind. It's a collective team effort. The offensive line practices plays with the wide receivers, running backs, and a quarterback in the mix. Everyone knows what everyone else needs to be doing. If you take that approach to getting your BDC and sales department on the same page, understanding what each other is doing, you'll soon find your dealership working like a well-oiled machine with a seamless message being conveyed to your clients. And that's what you want. Let me tell you how this applies to my training specifically. Many times I can see the hesitancy in salespeople as they contemplate why they should have to go through my phone ups that show up course, for example, when they don't actually take sales calls. Two reasons. Number one is what we just discussed. They need to know exactly what the BDC is telling clients and understand the why to ensure that they're on the same page. Secondly, it's all about phone skills in general. Whether your people are taking inbound sales calls or not, they each put a phone to their head, or should put a phone to their head, hundreds of times every month in making outbound calls. Every time someone at your dealership picks up the telephone and doesn't know what to say or says the wrong thing, it may have just cost your dealership a deal. Do that math. One of my favorite dealers, John Marazzi, who many of you may have heard of, says this: "It's not who sells the most, but who spills the least." Your complete staff has to be cohesive as well trained on the telephone in today's automotive industry. It's not optional. Thanks a lot for watching, and know that we love seeing your dealerships and BDCs succeed in a big way.